In the winter of 1957, Moscow felt the chill much earlier than usual. On the icy streets, a small mongrel was scavenging for food near a trash can. She was about 3 years old, small in stature and gentle in nature, with moist eyes that were full of trust. She didn't know her parents, and she didn't have a name. At that moment, she was just one of the thousands of strays struggling to survive, until a pair of large hands accompanied by military boots snatched her up. She didn't resist, she even wagged her tail. She thought she was finally being adopted, that she finally had a home. She did get a home, but it wasn't a warm dog bed. It was a centrifuge at the Soviet Institute of Aviation Medicine. The scientists gave her a name, Laika. The reason she was chosen was cruel. It was precisely because she was a stray. Having endured hunger and freezing cold, her resilience made her more capable of withstanding the extreme conditions of a space capsule than any house pet. Her past suffering became the very justification for sending her to the altar. The backdrop of the time was one of madness. With the Cold War in full swing, Khrushchev demanded a shocking breakthrough before the 40th anniversary of the October Revolution. A satellite carrying a living creature. With less than a month to prepare, engineers knew perfectly well that there was no time to build a return capsule. This meant that from the moment Laika was chosen, she was handed a one-way ticket. She was destined to die up there. The scientists' only mission was to keep her alive just a bit longer to transmit a few fragments of data before her end. A few days before the launch, Dr. Vladimir Yazdovsky, the scientist in charge of Laika's training, did something against the rules. He took Laika home to play with his children for an afternoon. Years later, the doctor recalled, "I wanted to do something nice for her, because she had so little time left." That was the only time in Laika's life she ever felt the warmth of a family. The very next day, she was bolted into a cramped capsule, so narrow she couldn't even turn around. The 3rd of November, 1957, Sputnik 2 ignited. A deafening roar tore through the sky. According to official Soviet propaganda at the time, Laika survived for a week in space and passed away peacefully in her sleep. A hero for her country. She became a global icon. Her image was printed on stamps and cigarette packs, and children all over the world looked up at the stars, searching for that brave little dog. However, this was a lie that lasted for 45 years. It wasn't until 2002 that scientists involved in the project finally revealed the cruel truth. Laika didn't live for a week. She didn't even survive the first few hours after liftoff. Biological data showed that at the moment of launch, Laika's heart rate spiked to 3 times its normal rate. She struggled frantically inside the metal tin, consumed by absolute terror. Once in orbit, the real nightmare began. Due to the rushed deadline, the thermal insulation system failed completely. The temperature inside began to rise rapidly. 30 degrees, 40 degrees, 50. That cramped capsule turned into an oven. Laika died in agony from extreme heat, dehydration, and sheer panic. Before she passed, she glanced through that tiny porthole at the pitch-black universe. There were no familiar Moscow streets, no doctor to give her treats, only endless cold and darkness. After she died, Laika found no rest in the earth. The satellite became a metal coffin, carrying her remains around the planet 2,570 times. For 5 months, she was like a lonely ghost, passing 15 times a day over the Earth that had abandoned her. On the 14th of April, 1958, Sputnik 2 plunged into the atmosphere. The loneliest dog in the world finally turned into a falling star streaking across the sky, burning into ashes. Through Laika's death, humanity proved that life could survive in weightlessness. From a utilitarian perspective, the deal was a success. But do we really have the right to do such a thing? 40 years after Laika's death, Oleg Gazenko, the scientist who personally sent her into space, said, "The more time passes, the more I am sorry about it. We shouldn't have done it." Today, there stands a small monument to Laika in Moscow. Many passers-by touch her bronze statue, calling her a hero. But perhaps this is just our most hypocritical form of self-consolation. A cold bronze statue cannot compensate for the despair of her final hours. And an apology 40 years too late cannot fulfill her simple longing to go home. To Laika, the vastness of the universe was meaningless. She was just a little dog who wanted to live, yet she was forcibly assigned the grand narrative of sacrifice. That monument stands not to praise bravery, but as a constant reminder of our cruelty. It is a permanent scar on the history of human space exploration. We cannot change the past. All that remains for us is a humble prayer. May she run back to the doctor's home in a parallel universe without pain. And by that warm fireplace, finally take a peaceful afternoon nap.